Good morning, dear students. Good morning to one and all. So today we are going to uh, complete the chapter, the hack driver, and after that we shall discuss something about the syllabus of our upcoming test in this month, in the last week of this month. So first of all, let us finish the story that is in progress, and after that I shall certainly discuss with you some of the topics that I'm going to give you in the examination and how to prepare about this. Okay, so let's begin, dear students. Okay, so we have completed in our last class till here, till this highlighted part. So now we are going to start today from here. So dear students, you might have seen how a bill. Okay, who is Bill then? Do you remember the characters? Who is Bill? We've got to first revise a little bit so that you recollect what we have done so far. Okay, so dear students, you can see here Oliver Lutkins. Okay, Oliver Lutkins. Uh, there is a character. Okay, who the narrator is trying to locate. Okay, who the narrator is trying to locate, and the hack driver is known by the name Bill. Okay, so now the hack driver is taking the narrator for a round, for a trip around the town, around the village, so as to locate Oliver Lutkins. They have gone to different places, but Lutkins was not identified or discovered there. Okay, so let's find out what happens now there. And then Bill has proposed to the narrator to visit his house, that is the Bill's house, so that his wife can serve him lunch and at a very nominal cost. And he cited some demerits of the food which is served in the restaurant. So let's see whether the narrator agrees to the proposal put forward by Bill. Okay, let's find out here. So, dear students, today we'll start from here. I know that Bill's helpfulness to the young fellow from the city was not entirely a matter of brotherly love. Okay, Bill's helpfulness, hack driver's helpfulness to the young fellow from the city here refers to the narrator, was not entirely a matter of brotherly love. Means it was not fully a charity work. Okay, there must be a purpose, because if someone helps you, there is a purpose behind that. Okay, it's not always a help with no return, with expectation of no return. No, uh, when people help you out, they have some purpose behind it. Okay, so that is what you'll find. Very few people who are really helpful, who help you really without asking anything in return. There will be very few people. But the narrator is saying the Bill's help to me is not entirely a matter of brotherly love. I was paying him for his time. Okay, the narrator was paying Bill for his time. In the end, I paid him for 6 hours, including the lunch hour. Okay, at what was then a very high price. At that particular time period, it was a very high price. Okay, whatever the narrator has paid Bill for the entire duration of 6 hours, including the lunch hour, was not a cheap price. It's a very heavy price. But he was no more dishonest than I. He was no more dishonest than I. I charged the whole thing to the farm. Okay, the farm has to bear the expense what the narrator had to pay to Bill, but it would have been worth paying him myself to have his presence. Okay, the narrator is saying, okay, now I shall ask the company to pay to me as I have paid everything, I have paid for the 6 hours to Bill. But had it not been the company, had it not been had I not approached company, I would have also loved to pay Bill the amount that I paid him for 6 hours. Okay, because it seems the narrator likes the company of Bill, the hack driver. Understood? That is why he is making such a statement. The narrator, in all probability, in all likelihood, likes the company of Bill. That is why he's saying, but it would have been worth paying him myself to have his presence. His presence is so pleasant for the narrator that he said, even if the company did not pay, it was worth paying from my own pocket also to Bill because I love his presence, I like his presence. His cheerful country wisdom was very refreshing to a country boy like myself who was sick of the city. Okay, who was sick of the city life because very few people like city life because of hectic lifestyle. Life is very mechanical in the city. There are many people who like country life. Country life means the village life. Okay, so the narrator is one of them. He, for his work, for his profession, he had to stay there in the city, but he likes the countryside. As we sat on the hilltop looking over the pastures and creek which slipped among the trees, he talked of New Molian and painted a picture in the words of all the people in it. Painted a picture in words. It means whenever Bill was narrating an incident to the narrator, he was narrating in such a beautiful manner that his words were his words Bill's description came alive in the mind of the narrator in the form of picture, as if he was able to visualize what Bill was describing. So how you can imagine how beautiful, how skillful is the narration of the hack driver. He noticed everything, but no matter he noticed everything, but no matter how much he might laugh at people, he also understood and forgave their foolishness. He described the minister's wife who sang the loudest in church when she was most in debt. He commented on the boys who came back from college in fancied clothes. He told about the lawyer whose wife could never succeed in getting him to put on both the collar and the tie on the same day. He made them all live. On that day, I came to know New Mullion better than I did the city and to love it better because Bill has described about many things here as described as I just went through the lines. Okay, Bill has described about these things about New Mullion, the people of that place, in such a beautiful manner that the narrator seemed to have understood it much better than before. Okay, it is all happening because of the way Bill is explaining to the narrator. Okay, so Bill did not know about colleges and cities, but he had traveled. See, Bill did not know about colleges and cities, but he had traveled around a lot of the country and had had a lot of jobs. From his adventures, he had brought back a philosophy of simplicity and laughter. He strengthened me. Okay, so Bill did not know about colleges and cities. Bill, it seems, was not so not into education or into studies and all that, but he had traveled around a lot of the country and had a lot of jobs. From his adventures, he had brought back a philosophy of simplicity and laughter. He strengthened me. So the narrator seems to have become influenced by the way Bill was narrating things to him. Bill was interacting with him. Okay, something of Bill that the narrator has started liking very much. That is why he's saying he strengthened me. Okay, and the writer is saying the narrator is saying Bill did not know about college and cities, but he's extensive traveling around the countryside, and his real life experience has given him so much of information, which he is presenting in a philosophical manner, in a simple manner, which makes us laugh, and he strengthened me. We left that peaceful scene of meadows and woods and resumed our search of Oliver Lutkins. For some time, dear students, they sat somewhere in the meadows and woods in the lap of nature. They spent together some time, and then again they resumed their search of Oliver Lutkins. We could not find him. At last, Bill cornered a friend of Lutkins and made him admit what he guessed. Oliver's gone out to his mother's farm 3 miles north. So, one of the friends of Lutkins informed them that Oliver has gone out of his mother's farm 3 miles north. Okay, we drove out there laying plans. Okay, they were laying the plan how to catch Oliver Lutkins. Okay, I know Oliver's mother. She is a terror. Bill laughed. Bill laughed as he narrated. He said, I know Oliver's mother. She is a net terror. Bill laughed. I took a trunk out there for her once, and she almost took my skin off because I did not treat it like a box of eggs. She's about 9 feet tall and 4 feet. 9 feet tall, my goodness. She's about 9 feet tall and 4 feet thick and quick as a cat, and she sure can talk. I'll bet Oliver heard that somebody is chasing him, and he's gone on there to hide behind his mother's skirts. Well, we'll try her, but you'd better let me do it, boy. You may be a great at literature and law, but you haven't had real training in swearing. Okay? So Bill said, you might be good at law, you might be good at literature, but I know better than you how to handle Bill's mom. Okay, so I need to go myself. You don't follow me. You stay apart somewhere behind. We drove into a poor farmyard. We were faced by an enormous and cheerful old woman. My guide bravely went up to her and said, guide here refers to Bill. Remember me? I am Bill Magnuson, the carter and hackman. I want to find your son Oliver. I don't know anything about Oliver, and I don't want to, she shouted. Now, look here. We've had just about enough nonsense. This young man represents the court in the city, and we have a legal right to search all properties for this Oliver Lutkins. So, Bill said, look here, we have had just about enough nonsense. This young man, that is Oliver, represents the court in the city. He has to go and appear before the court in the city, and we have a legal right to search all properties for this because we have the legal right because there is a written document, okay, to show that the court Oliver Lutkins is summoned in the court. Bill made me sound very important, and the woman was impressed. She retired into the kitchen and we followed. She seized an iron from the old-fashioned stove and marched on us shouting, you search all you want to, if you don't mind getting burned first. She shouted and laughed at our frightened retreat. Okay, so can you imagine how dangerous is the mother of Oliver Lutkins? Okay, she is trying to use an iron as a defense, as a weapon, okay, as a weapon to stop Bill. So she said she seized an iron from the old-fashioned stove and marched on us shouting, you search all you want to, but first of all you need to get yourself burned. She shouted, and she was laughing when both Bill and the narrator were retreating. Retreating means They stepped back. They stepped back, both the narrator and Bill, because they became frightened, okay, frightened of Lutkin's mom when she was standing with a hot iron, okay, in her hand, in order to attack them, or in order to you know in order to defend herself. Let's get out here of here. She will murder us, Bill whispered. Outside, he said, did you see her smile? She was laughing at us. I agree that it was pretty disrespectful treatment. We did, however, search the house. Since it was only one story high, Bill went round it, peering at all the windows. We examined the barn and stable. We were reasonably certain that Lutkins was not there. It was nearly time for me to catch the afternoon train, and Bill drove me to the station. Okay, because the narrator's visit to this place was not successful because he could not trace Oliver Lutkin. So he is planning to go by that afternoon train. So it was nearly time for him to catch the afternoon train. On the way to the city, I worried very little over my failure to find Lutkins. I was too busy thinking about Bill Magnuson. Okay, so dear students, when he was on his way to the city, uh, he did not think much about Oliver Lutkins. He was thinking more about Bill Magnuson, okay? Because Bill is someone who has impressed the narrator very much. Really, I considered returning to New Mullion to practice law. If I had found Bill so deep and richly human, might I not grow to love Fritz and Gustav and 100 other slow-spoken, simple, wise neighbors? I pictured an honest and happy life beyond the strict limits of universities and law firms. I was excited. I had found a treasure. I had discovered a new way of life. So the narrator was so very much impressed by Bill that he is now planning to shift to the countryside. He is now trying to shift from the city life to the country life, to New Mullion. And he said, if I get the company of Bill in this place like New Mullion, I don't mind, making friendship with Fritz and Gustav and 100 other slow-spoken people, okay, slow-spoken neighbors. And then he started visualizing in his mind. He started dreaming about a very honest and happy life in the country, in the village. Okay, so he was planning to shift to the village so as to live a very simple and happy life. And more importantly, he wanted to spare his time in the company of Bill, because he became so very much impressed by talking to Bill. Okay, let's find out. But if I did not think much about Lutkins, the office did. So even if I did not think, the office did, the court did think about Lutkins, because Lutkins was supposed to appear before the law court. He was served summons. In spite of that, he was absconding, he was running away. Therefore, the office was concerned about him. I found them all upset. Next morning, the case was coming up in the court, and they had to have Lutkins. They had to have Lutkins. I was a shameless, useless fool. That morning, my promising legal career almost came to an end before it had begun, because I was not able to catch Lutkins. I was not able to, bring Lutkins from the countryside. It was my duty, but I failed in my duty. Therefore, he said, might be my promising legal career would come to an end now. The chief almost murdered me. He hinted that I might do well at digging ditches. He said, the chief of the court, he said that he was a bit annoyed with the narrator. I was ordered back to New Mullion. Again, he was ordered to go to New Mullion, and with me went a man who had worked with Lutkins. I was rather sorry, because it would prevent my loafing all over again with Bill. Okay, so he said, When another man was sent this time with the narrator to New Mullion, the narrator was not so happy because he cannot have personal time with Bill now. Okay, if he was sent like the previous time alone in New Mullion, he could have spent some personal time, some private time with Bill. But as somebody else has been sent with the narrator, he will lose the opportunity of having some private time with Bill. Let's find out. When the train arrived at New Mullion, Bill was on the station platform near his cart. Bill was there in the station. Okay, when the train arrived, means the narrator's second visit. Okay, narrator's second visit to New Mullion. When the train arrived at New Mullion, Bill was on the station platform near his cart. Strangely enough, that old tigress, strangely enough, that old tigress, the Lutkin's mother, was there talking and laughing with Bill. Okay, talking and laughing with Bill, not quarreling at all. Okay, so when the narrator and another man arrived to New Mullion, the narrator could see that Bill was in the station along with Lutkin's mother. But this time, Lutkin's mother is not very strict with Bill. She is very much friendly with Bill. The narrator became confused. Last time she was so angry with us when both Bill and myself went to her house. This time she is so friendly with Bill. What is the matter? So this is what has confused the narrator. From the train steps, I pointed Bill out to my companion. From the train steps, I pointed Bill out to my companion. Okay, whoever came with the narrator to New Mullion, from the train itself, he was pointing out to Bill. Okay, pointing Bill out. He was showing that companion of the narrator, showing that, look, here is Bill, and said, there's a fine fellow, a real man. I spent the day with him. And the narrator has given introduction about Bill to the companion who has come with him all the way from the city to New Mullion once again. He helped you hunt for Oliver Lutkins. Then the companion, when the narrator introduced, was saying something about Bill to the companion, to his companion, then the companion was asking the narrator, his companion was asking to narrator, he helped you hunt for Oliver Lutkins. Was it he who helped you hunt for Oliver Lutkins? Yes, he helped me a lot. He must have. He must have. The companion is saying, he is Lutkin himself. Who said it is Bill? He is Lutkin himself. He must have. He must have helped you a lot because he is Lutkin himself. What really hurt me was that when I served the summons, Lutkins and his mother laughed at me as though I were a bright boy of 7. With loving kindness, they begged me to go with them to a neighbor's house for a cup of tea. I told them about you, and they are anxious to look at you, said Lutkins joyfully. They are about the only fox in the town that missed seeing you yesterday. Okay, so dear students, have you seen towards the end there's a twist in the tale? The man who has been helping the narrator out all throughout, taking him out, taking him to different places in identifying or discovering Lutkins, is Lutkins himself. The narrator, the person that narrator took for Bill came out to be Oliver Lutkins himself towards the end of the story. So there's a twist in the tale towards the end, as you have seen, and the lady was laughing because the lady was Lutkin's mother. Okay, so that is why the lady was laughing, and but what we have come to know that Lutkins is a very pleasant personality. Okay, even though he did not introduce himself to the narrator, but his way of interaction, his way of narration did impress the narrator so much that he has even decided to leave his town job and come down to settle in the countryside. So, dear students, that's all about the story. Okay, it's a very interesting story you might have seen towards the end. Okay. So, dear students, it is not a part of November syllabus. Therefore, I shall upload this after few days. Okay, the question answers after few days. Now, I shall upload the glimpses of India for you because it is there in the syllabus. Okay, so dear students, I shall upload glimpses of India for you very shortly, maybe today or tomorrow, so that you can write down the question answers. Okay, but before that, I would like to give you some information regarding the writing skill. So, dear students, as you might have seen, mm, let me just show you here. This one. See, it is your sample paper. It is a sample paper, and then mm, let me show you the question paper once. So this is your sample paper for board. uh, I wanted to show you the writing skill actually. So I'm also planning to give you one writing skill task this time. Okay, instead of two grammars, I shall give you one grammar and one writing skill. So as you can see here, I shall show you. Okay, so dear students, uh, writing skill topic you can note. It can be, as you can see here, it is an official letter. Okay, write a letter to the SHO of the local police station, drawing attention towards the same. Explain how such acts impact the health of community and request immediate intervention. So official letter will be there. Okay, in your syllabus, official letter. Here also you see, write a letter to Book Haven Store requesting home delivery of the books, stationery and art materials. Placing order. Okay, this is placing order. So it could be placing order, or it could be an official letter also, like this complaint letter. Okay, so this will be there for your November test. This will be there. As you have seen, dear students, one writing skill will be there. Okay, it could be an official letter, or it could be a official letter only. It could be a complaint letter, or it could be a letter based on placing orders. Placing orders. Okay. Uh, so it will comprise of 5 marks. So instead of two grammar items, I am giving you one grammar question, one grammar And one grammar item and one writing skill. So dear students, you've got to prepare accordingly, okay? And rest will all be same only the way I've given you. So only change is I'm replacing one grammar item with one writing skill, okay? Writing task is also important, you need to practice it, okay? And see, I have your thing you can see from here. I have uploaded here on my website. I have uploaded the official letter like placing orders and all that. You can see from here. I have already uploaded here, so you can see here official letter, business or official letter. Okay, so you can see here business or official letters. So you can go through this. Okay, complaints letter, asking for giving information, so you can go through the sample of this letter so that you are able to understand how to write and all. Okay, so dear students, I am winding up here today. So on Saturday you come online, because I shall give you some tips as to how to prepare for your examination. Topic wise, I shall give you some tips. So please do attend Saturday's class. Okay. So that's it for the day, dear students. Thank you so much. And dear students, some of you this time did not submit in PDF file. So I have made a video. I'm going to upload it on my English on my YouTube channel. So please see the video, see the demo video, where I have demonstrated how to find out your question paper, which teacher will be sending you on the day of the examination in the Google Classroom, and how to take pics of your answer notebook in Microsoft Lens, and from the Microsoft Lens app itself, how to convert the images that you have taken into a PDF file, and then from the app itself how to share it to Google Classroom, to the English classroom folder or science classroom folder or maths classroom folder. So I've made a very detailed video for you. Please do watch this video and you shall be able to learn how to do that effortlessly. Okay, so until we meet on Saturday, bye bye, take care and have a great day.